It's the CFG, and welcome to the Confident Fat Guy podcast. What is going on, beautiful people? It is the CFG, and welcome to another episode of the Confident Fat Guy podcast. Unfortunately, this is not the podcast I wanted to make, nor did I have any plans to make a podcast like this. But especially since I've only got 3 episodes left to the end of season 1. But Friday, I got up at 7 to take my son to school, and I came back home and I did my normal. I took a nap, and an hour before I was scheduled into work, I got the notification that my cousin passed away in the back of an ambulance on the way to the hospital. Obviously, I'm not gonna put names out here. Excuse me. But this is gonna be more of a tribute to him. Um, there's so much I could say about him. My mom and dad have been together for 32 years. No, my dad is not my real dad, but he has been in my life since I was about 9 years old. So he is my dad. I haven't had too much interaction with my real dad. He passed away a couple years ago, anyways. But there's only few people on my dad's side that actually took me in as part of the family. And he was one of them. He was a very successful engineer, very smart, uh, very high tech. Um, he was retired. He had a beautiful house, swimming pool. When I was a kid, that's where we would go for family reunions because of the swimming pool, the slide, the diving board. But he was very humble, and he did have a bank account. I mean, the best story I could tell of him was obviously when I was younger, when my dad tried to teach me how to drive. Back then, obviously, you guys know that I had a lot of issues. Well, my dad had a lot of issues as well. So we butted heads all the time. He he was an alpha male, I'm an alpha male. It just didn't connect. And I mean, years later, once I got my issues fixed and he went through some changes, we actually sat down and talked about it. It was actually pretty nice. But one day my dad was on the phone with him, and he was like, I can't do it. He needs to drive, but I just don't have the patience for it. And he's like, oh, I'll do it. Don't get me wrong, this guy has so many, or did have so many nice vehicles. And my dad's like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, absolutely. I'll get him to drive, no problem. So I don't remember what car it was, but he picked me up and he's like, you're going to drive in Indianapolis. So, me being 15 or 16, driving for the first time to Indianapolis, he goes, if you can't drive in Indy, you can't drive anywhere. So, I drove all the way from Kokomo to Indy, which is about an hour drive. And then he has me turn on 465, which, if anybody is from Indiana, 465 is one of the biggest interstates in Indiana, along with 65 and 69 and 75. And so, I mean, I did fine, and because of him, I passed my driving test. And there's just so much more I could say about him, but it was pretty devastating. And unfortunately, when he retired years and years ago, he had a whole bunch of health issues and all that stuff. And I don't know the circumstances of how he passed away, other than he had a infection in his blood, and they were taking him to the hospital by an ambulance, and he had a massive heart attack. And unfortunately, he did not survive. Didn't even make it to the hospital. So, yeah, like I said, this isn't the episode I ever wanted to do, but just remember, keep your family close. I know there are a lot of people that have distance between them and relatives, and I understand that. There's distance between me and a bunch of family members. That's just because they chose different paths that involve certain substance and jail time, and I just that's just something I've never been in. I've never done drugs. I've never even smoked weed before. So it's just not my thing, you know. Excuse me. But keep the ones you love close. Don't ever forget to tell them how much they mean to you, because let's be honest, life is short and we never know when our time is, and death is unexpected and it comes out of nowhere. And I just want to thank him for what he did for me and what he did for a lot of people. I'm not going to like say all of, what he's done just out of privacy, but he contributed a whole bunch. That's all I'm going to say. So my thoughts and prayers are with the family, his side of the family. Um, and yeah, it's been a rough week. It's been a very busy week. Um, yeah, I don't have too much to talk about other than this is just a tribute to him. And if it wasn't for him, then I wouldn't have gotten where I was at the beginning. I would have never passed my driving test. I would have never overcome the fear of interstates and driving and all that stuff, and just the good memories as a kid and all that stuff. I'm not too good at emotions, talking about emotions like this in this capacity. Um but yeah, I'm sorry this episode is gonna be a short one, and I don't know, but rest in peace, man. I appreciate everything you've done, and I hope the pearly gates are wide open, because although your kids and other family members did some bad stuff to you and stole from you and all that, you were still a pretty good dude. And you had a heart of gold. And I appreciate it. And I hope you're looking down and you're proud. And I'm just glad all your health issues are gone now. And yeah, so I appreciate y'all listening. We'll get back to a normal setting next week. Um, just remember, love yourself, love one another. Don't forget to tell the people you love that you love them, because you never know when it's going to be the last time. Thank you for listening, and thank you for all the downloads. I'm up to 216, and this is my 17th episode. I don't know if that's good or not, but I appreciate all of you. Um, don't forget, you can check out the Confident Fat Guy on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. And I will see you guys next week.